Hello. There it is. Thanks.
Hello. Hello, hello. you to take a moment to enter into a space of rest, meditation, and quiet contemplation as we enter this service with the ringing of the gong and listening to the prelude. Good morning, welcome. Welcome to Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church. Welcome to everyone here in person and everyone joining us on YouTube, both now and in the future. I am Carolyn Churchill. My pronouns are she, hers. Our welcome words are from Alex Riley. It is good to be together in this co-created sacred space where all are welcome. How you experience your or express gender is welcome here. Who or how you love is welcome here. Where you are from and where you are in your journey is welcome here. Whether you come full of energy or find yourself running on empty, you are welcome here. You are a part of a beloved community that is sacred because each of us is sacred. Each of us is always held in a larger love. It is good to be together.
My name is Alex Riley. My pronouns are they, them, and I invite you all into the shared ritual of lighting our chalice. Today's chalice lighter is Lincoln, and the symbol of our Unitarian faith is being lit as we read the words from Eric Walker Wickstrom. Here, today, in this place, and with these people, may we listen so we can hear. May we hear so we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May we light this chalice, light our way. Please rise in body and or spirit to join in singing number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, number 1008 in the Teal hymnal.
it's time for the message for all ages, so if all the children and those young in heart can come on forward. This morning, I'm reading the book, Are You Listening? By Susan Verde. All day long, there are sounds. I hear them telling me the world is busy, and so am I. But when I find stillness and make the choice to pause, breathe, and give each sound my careful attention, I can listen. That is when the world slows down, and so do I. And I begin to understand. Listening tells me more. I can hear the noises of nature. But I can listen to a mama bird lovingly singing to her babies, to the humming of a bee sipping from a flower, to the whispers of a breeze talking to the trees and the leaves rustling response. And I notice everything is alive. What do you notice when you listen to nature? What do you notice when you listen to nature? Any sounds that they didn't talk about? Lila. Hear the wind blowing the trees, yep. Any other sounds? Waves on the shore. How about raindrops? That's a wonderful sound. It's amazing on a tarp, yep. When you're camping or something and it rains on a tarp. I can hear the hustle and bustle of a city street. But I can listen to the fire truck siren yelling, "Move aside, we're in a hurry," to the cars honking, "Go ahead," their tires screeching as they stop and wait. And I learned that loud can mean help is on the way. What do you learn when you listen? Any sounds when you're in the city?
Yes.
Lyra. Hear people talking, yep. Cody.
I just hear
Cars, lots of cars.
a bunch of cars.
Lots of cars. Ellie. Doors closing, yep. Lyra. Okay. Do you ever hear dogs barking? Yep. Lila? The subway, if you're in a place with the subway. Yeah, if you're in Chicago, their train goes above, so you hear the train tracks.
I just noticed why the fire truck is there.
Yep, the fire truck's there. You can hear that. I live near the hospital, so we hear the fire truck and the ambulance going down Spring Street all the time. Lyra. You can hear the radios and, yeah, people playing music in their cars. Okay, one more.
We have this game, and it's in New York City, and you can get it in the subway that goes.
So Lila plays a game that takes place in New York City, and the subway is in the game. So she's telling me that the subway goes around the city to a lot of different places. Yep. Someday when you go to New York City, you can ride that subway. It's pretty fun. I can hear the commotion in my classroom, but I can listen to the lingering ring of that chime that starts our day, to the smooth glide of a paintbrush against paper, to the gentle voice of my teacher reading a story and speaking words of kindness. And I know I'm part of a creative and caring community. What do you know when you listen? In the classroom? You want to tell me something, Lila? A lot of talking, yep. How about upstairs when we're up in the RE room? Chairs screeching. Okay. Lyra? Chalk on that terrible sound of chalk. Do you guys still have chalk in your classrooms? No. You have whiteboards now, don't you? You don't have to worry about that sound. I can hear a friend talking, but I can listen to the tone and pace of each word, to the sadness, joy, worry, or excitement in their voice, to only them and all that they want to share. And I understand if they need my words, my hugs, or just my listening ears. What do you understand when you listen to a friend? I'm not going to ask you this time. Just think about it. I can hear my own body working. If it's really quiet, you can hear your body. But I can listen to my slow, deep breathing, to the beating of my heart, to the grumblings of my belly, to my own thoughts and wishes and questions that arise. How am I feeling? What do I need? And I discover how to take care of me. What do you discover when you're listening? I can hear the activity of bedtime. But I can listen to the clinking off of light switches, to my heavy head landing on a soft pillow, to the love in the lullaby my papa sings to me, to the silence of a magnificent night sky, and to the cozy comfort I find myself drifting off to sleep. What do you find when you listen? We can hear a lot of things, a lot of people, right? All different people. If you are ever in an airport, in an international airport, where I've been many times, you will hear a lot of different languages of people speaking as well. But listening is the feeling in our hearts when we take the time to savor all that the world is telling us. This glorious universe has so much to share. Are you listening? Okay, now it's time for the children's blessing. We are blessed. We are blessed by being. We are blessed by being here. We are blessed by being here together.
There are many ways we give to the life of our church, and the monetary offering is just one of those ways. Each month, we partner with a local organization and share the money we collect. Our partner for April is the Racine Urban Garden Network, also known as RUGAN. Since 2009, Racine Urban Garden Network has been providing the space, the tools, and support for people to grow their own food. Rugen has 9 urban gardens throughout the city with a total of 300 plots and is an all-volunteer organization, from the board to the garden managers to the youth church and community groups that maintain the gardens. Excuse me. The suggested donation per plot is $30 per season and includes access to a shed, tools, and water supply. Rugen can waive this fee for low-income families. Rugen also organizes free workshops on food preservation, organic gardening, and composting, and co-supports a free music festival with Family Power Music in June. More information on how to give can be found on the back of your order of service. Thank you, as always, for your generosity. Now we have a reading, Let This Be a Place of Silence by Barbara Stevens. I'll read the intro. Thank you, Alex, for writing that. Before Alejandro blesses us with his beautiful music, I would like to call us into silence with the words by Barbara Stevens. May we carry this silence through the offertory. Let this be a place of warm and gentle silence, the silence that soothes and comforts the wounded, the silence that yields insights into heart and soul, the silence that calms, the silence that listens, the silence that speaks. the silence that renews. Let this be a place of warm and gentle silence. Being a part in community is sharing our joys and our sorrows with one another. We draw strength from celebrating the joys in each other's lives and lending support, comfort, and care when we experience one of life's many sorrows. We offer you two different ways to express the joys and sorrows that may be on your heart today, spoken and unspoken. If you would like to share a spoken joy or sorrow, I will ask you to come forward to the microphone first, or you may raise your hand and a microphone will be brought to you. Once the spoken joys and sorrows are finished, you may come forward and light a candle to represent the unspoken joy or sorrow that is in your heart. Please remember that our service is being streamed online, so please be sure that any spoken joy or sorrow you share is one you are comfortable sharing with the wider community than just inside these walls with us this morning. Those that would like to share spoken joys or sorrows may come forward at this time. And if you would like to light a candle for an unspoken joy or sorrow, you may come forward at this time. We light one final candle for the joys and sorrows that are on the hearts of our beloveds joining us online. There is a love holding us always. May we rest in that love. Amen and blessed be. All are invited to join in singing There Is a Love. The words are in the order of service.
We've all been there. You're pouring your heart out to someone, and they're nodding so rhythmically, you're starting to wonder if they turned into a bobblehead. They're doing the act of listening hokey pokey, you know, the rhythmic nodding, the dramatic lean in, the echoing your words that somehow leaves you feeling like you're talking to a very polite wall. The main problem with active listening is that sometimes it gets turned into a performance. People hear, be a good listener, and suddenly they're nodding like their head is on a spring, leaning forward dramatically, and repeating every sentence back like a friendly parrot. It can look impressive, but the speaker usually knows when you're emotionally checked out or thinking about what's for dinner. When listening becomes about looking attentive than actually caring, trust can disappear fast. Real listening is less like acting and more like showing up fully. It means putting your own inner commentary on mute for a moment and getting genuinely curious about what the other person is trying to say, especially the feelings underneath the words. High-quality listening requires a shift from technique to genuine presence. Instead of parroting facts, we must mirror meaning, seeking the emotional undercurrents behind the words. Instead of waiting for your turn to talk or rushing in with solutions, you make space for their experience. Good listening isn't about following a script or collecting gold stars for your nodding technique. It's all about presence, openness, and being willing to let someone else's perspective matter to you. And when people feel truly heard, they often understand themselves better too. And that's when the good stuff happens. I'm going to be honest. Initially, I chose today's service topic for Alejandro. As a member of the worship committee It has been brought to my attention that many of us are struggling to give Alejandro the respect he deserves as he shares his beautiful music with us. I thought that by doing a service about listening as a spiritual practice would help us recenter the prelude, postlude, and offertory music as a time for focus and reflection. This is why we now have the message before the prelude and after the gong, and why Carolyn called us into silence today before the offertory. But as I dug deeper into the topic of listening, I realized that the connection to our faith is much larger than I first considered. Now back to that good stuff I mentioned. The good stuff, my friends, is living within our shared values, and listening is key to doing that. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, listening is far more than a simple social grace or a communication skill. It is the foundational practice that breathes life into the values we claim to hold. Let's go a little bit deeper and talk about some of our shared values and how deep listening is at the core of bringing them to life. Interdependence and pluralism. To appreciate the vast mystery of life, it helps to remember that none of us is the star of the entire universe, despite occasional evidence from our egos. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, practicing deep, active listening serves as a radical act of decentering, a spiritual discipline that shifts our focus from our own inner monologue to caring for other stories as sacred and important. When we stop treating our own personal perspective as the universal default, we begin to recognize our place as one vital yet humble patch in an expansive quilt of interdependence. Some patches are floral, some plaid, some are definitely questionable choices from the 1970s, but all of us belong. Listening isn't just staying quiet, it's opening our hearts and being truly present, recognizing both the commonalities that connect us and the differences that make each person different. Listening helps us notice both what connects us and what makes each person wonderfully distinct. It reminds us that our well-being is tied up with one another's, whether we like it or not. Listening becomes the thread that helps hold together this tapestry of our shared life. Generosity. Generosity is often mistaken for something that only happens with wallets, pledge drives, bake sales. But one of the greatest gifts we can offer is our attention. To listen deeply is to practice radical generosity of attention, offering our most finite resource, time, to another without the immediate urge to judge or redirect. To listen deeply is to say, for this moment, I'm here with you. No fixing, no interrupting, no daydreaming about what's for lunch while someone is sharing what's on their heart. Just presence. That kind of attention is rare and valuable and deeply kind. This act honors our shared interdependence by acknowledging that the stories and struggles of others are worthy of sacred space and witness. By quieting our own internal chatter, we create a sacred silence where inherent worth and dignity of our neighbor can truly be felt. In a busy world, listening may be one of the most generous things we can give. And it doesn't even need wrapping paper. Equity. Equity is less about a balanced ledger and more about balanced dialogue. To practice equity, we must move beyond the one-size-fits-all mentality of equality and instead commit to the specific, often difficult work of hearing what a person or community actually needs to thrive. This requires intentionally amplifying voices that have historically been silenced or marginalized, acknowledging that our own perspectives are limited by our specific lived experiences. When we listen with the goal of equity, we aren't just being polite. We are engaging in a promise to dismantle the systemic barriers that prevent others from fully participating in our shared existence. It is through this disciplined, humble ear that we move from the abstract ideal of justice to tangible reality of a community where every individual is truly seen, heard, and supported in their unique wholeness. Transformation. Transformation means accepting that we are all unfinished masterpieces and occasionally unfinished messes. Listening is the vital catalyst that facilitates this evolution. If we remain locked within the echo chamber of our own certainties, habits, assumptions, and favorite opinions, we stagnate. It is only through the brave act of hearing someone else's truth that we invite the friction necessary for growth. When we practice deep listening, we aren't just absorbing information. We are entering a sacred melting pot where our existing biases and rigid narratives can be melted down and made into something more inclusive. This is the alchemy of community. By allowing the lived experiences of others to blend with our own, we permit ourselves to be fundamentally changed by the encounter. Sometimes another person's story can stretch your heart, challenge your thinking, or gently nudge you into becoming a wiser human being. And that's holy work, even if it's a bit uncomfortable. Transformation honors our shared existence by proving that we are not static, solitary patches in a scrap drawer, but instead an expansive, more compassionate quilt in need of mending our understanding of the world. Justice. In the Unitarian Universalist journey, justice is active, outward expression of our love for the world, and it begins with the humble act of listening. True justice cannot be theorized from a distance. It requires us to lean in and hear the specific stories of harm, exclusion, and survival that reveal where the quilt of our beloved community has been torn. This type of listening is a moral audit, forcing us to confront the gap of our high ideals and the lived realities of the marginalized. By focusing on the experiences of those most affected by inequality, we go past just pretending to care and instead commit to real responsibility. Listening is the key that connects understanding with taking action. It helps us plan ways to break down unfair systems and make sure that our goal of creating a just and compassionate world is guided by the needs of those who are struggling, not just simply our own comfort and convenience. So, where does this leave us today? It leaves us, I hope, with a renewed appreciation for the quiet power of listening. Not the performative kind, not the bobblehead kind, not the dramatic kind, not the, so what I hear you saying is, while secretly wondering what's for lunch. I mean, the kind of listening that asks us to be fully present with one another. Because the world is full of noise and distraction and people waiting impatiently for their turn to speak. Genuine listening is a countercultural act. Let us commit to being people who don't just hear, but who witness. So perhaps one invitation we can carry from this morning is a simple one. When Alejandro offers the prelude, postlude, or offertory, let us receive it as a gift. Let us listen not as background consumers, but as people practicing reverence. Let the music soften us, steady us, and gather us into this shared sacred space. But let's not stop there. May we listen to our partners and friends with more patience. May we listen to strangers with more curiosity. May we listen to those whose lives are different from our own with more humility. May we listen to those in pain with compassion instead of quick advice. May we listen to ourselves too with honesty and grace. Let us move from being solitary patches in a scrap drawer to becoming a vibrant, resilient quilt mended by our attention and strengthened by our shared values. If we do this, we may discover that listening is not a pause before the real work begins. Listening is the real work. It is how a beloved community is built, how trust is repaired, how justice is rooted, and how love becomes visible. Please rise in body and or spirit to sing number hymn 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple," number 16 in the gray hymnal. We extinguish our chalice with the words of Melissa Jeter. We extinguish this chalice today, but we are illuminated by the faith that allows us to sit and think. In this quiet time, we can reflect in solitude, meditating on love, and growing out of our comfort. Though we experience discomfort, we are excited to give birth to a new, just world. Our benediction this morning is from Shel Silverstein. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves. Then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Please stay seated and silent for the postlude.
on Sunday, June 14th at 3 o'clock, and it will include the first general session. Then on Monday, the 15th of June, there will be 2 more general sessions, as well as Tuesday, another 2 general sessions. Delegates, if you're a delegate, can sign up for the business session only, which would be completed then on June 16th. But there's also a second part to GA this year, and it starts on the evening of June 19th through the morning of June 21st. And the second part includes worship, it includes breakout groups, meeting the moment, it includes featured speakers, and the Ware Lecture, which I'm really excited about this year because it's going to be given by Reverend Marianne Edgar Budd, who is the Episcopal Bishop of Washington that's kind of made a name for herself. The registration fee for OBUUC delegates will be covered by the church. Please let me know if you're interested in becoming the 4th delegate. You can talk to me after church, or I will be willing to send you links for further information from the UUA. Registration, though, needs to happen by April 30th because it's once May 1st comes, we pay $100 more for registration. So we're looking to have anybody who's going register by April 30th, and the registration will be done by Brenda through the church office. So I hope there's someone among this group that's interested in going. Thanks.
Thank you, Suzanne. Bring your Love Pantry donations to church on Sunday mornings. Our middle and high school youth will use them to fill the pantry on the first Sunday of the month, which will be next Sunday. There will be a stewardship campaign celebration dinner on May 15th. More details to come. If you need to reference the monthly Unifier email, there is a link in each Sunday's email that will take you to it. Be sure to check your monthly and weekly emails for more information on some of these announcements, along with community events and other news that are not announced here in church. Thank you to our volunteers today, our ushers, Kathy Carson and Joe Cushing, our coffee hour hosts, Joyce Firebaugh, Wendy McKelvey, and David Ruskowski, our Zoom host, Anita Miller, and on camera and tech, Mark Summer, and our cell phone monitor, Jen Simpkins. That's all for announcements. Please join us in Ehrman Hall for coffee hour. For those on YouTube, log into Zoom for your coffee hour. The link is in today's email.
Yeah, let me browbeat you a little bit more.